Welcome to ATO Unfiltered, where we talk about all things mental and behavioral health. We interview incredible individuals to dive deep into their stories of aspiring, thriving, and overcoming. Connect with us to discover emotional understanding and find resources to help you live the life you strive for. I'm Xotchil Rodriguez. I'm your host. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to ATO Unfiltered. On this episode that we have a special guest. My name is Xotchil Rodriguez and I am your host today, and I'm very, very excited for today's episode. This is going to impact a lot of us, especially, I want to say everybody, but especially women, because Tina is going to talk about her expertise. I met Tina in another conference and she was a speaker, and I was just blown away by how simple and how practical her methods are. So in mental health. So I'm not going to say more because I want to allow Tina to tell us her story. So I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Tina Hasten. Thank you for being here, Tina. I'm so excited to be here.
Nice of you to say.
Yes.
I really enjoy speaking and being on podcasts. So for me, it's really fun, and I just appreciate the invite.
Yeah. Well, I think your message, it needs to be out there because people we don't know about it. So let's start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's because I know we're all in this position now, but something got us to this spot.
Absolutely.
So let's start from the beginning. Tell us about yourself.
I am a married woman with 3 adult children.
Yeah.
I've been married 30 years.
Wow.
And I went to college to become a registered nurse, and I was a nurse for years.
Really?
Off and on. But we've moved a lot with my husband's job.
Okay.
So one of the times when we were moving from Texas to West Virginia, I knew I wasn't going to find the perfect job because I really had the perfect RN job here in Houston. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it just worked well for myself and my family. And I moved to a very, very small town. And I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to find this.
Yeah.
So I kind of in my life came to a crossroads. And I was like, do I pursue nursing and maybe get my master's or do something a little different?
Mm-hmm.
And I had found, it's called the National Association of Productivity and Organizing.
Okay.
And did not know that existed. Most people don't.
Right.
But I am a member, a national member and a member in the Houston area, and I'm on the board. And it is a group of professional organizers.
Wow.
And we support each other. So I was like, what is this? So there is a way to put in your zip code and see all the organizers in your area.
I had no idea that existed.
I went, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This was 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I typed in all these different, zip codes and started looking at people's websites.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think I was born to do this.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
It just clicked.
I just didn't know that was a real profession.
Yes.
So all these years later, I do know that it is a real profession. So to make a long story short, I got really excited. I got a mentor. I created a website with help. That's the other thing. I'm a nurse. Yeah. I didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
And then later down the road, a few years ago, I did write a book. That's another whole story because I don't know how to do that. So I hired a book coach and she helped me.
Mm-hmm.
But if it wasn't for all these extra helpers and people, I couldn't be where I am today.
And the courage to ask for help. That's one of the things I always, as a therapist myself, I always tell people, it's like, just the courage that you're here seeking help for either, because I specialize in teenagers, either for your teenager, for yourself as parent or whatever. Mm-hmm. It is that's huge.
And I have 18 strategies in the book, and one of them is hire the help you need.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my book, it's more hire the help for the garden, for the meal planning, for organizing, for cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in a business, it's hire the things that you don't like or that you don't have the skill.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, I love organizing. I hate paperwork.
Yeah.
So taxes and that kind of stuff isn't really my favorite thing, and that's what you hire out.
Yes.
So it's been a very, very fun learning experience, but I always tell people I learn every single day.
Mm-hmm. So tell us the name of your book, because I love it. I love it.
It's called Life is Messy.
Life is Messy.
Because guess what? It is.
And she's a professional organizer. I want us to tell us a little bit about, I know there's a background on that, because you tie in how important it is to recognize life is messy, to get organized, to mental health. So I know there's a story behind that.
Oh, yeah. So the book is called Life is Messy, Organizing Strategies for Your Head and Home. Mm-hmm. So I always say there are millions of organizing books, but mine is a little different because I do care so much about the mental health aspect and how they go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And it's a feeling. Once you create that system and use the system, you're going to feel better. Mm-hmm. And I always say, after you've worked all day and then you go pick up your kids and you walk into your house and you still have a mess in your kitchen from yesterday, the day before, or the day before, that's immediately going to make you feel
stressed out,
annoyed, irritable, and you're just all of a sudden going to be yelling at your kids. Versus walking in, and I'm not saying that, you're going to have this perfect life.
Spotless.
And it doesn't have to be spotless.
Right.
But if there's a little bit of order, it's going to make you feel better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I always say this is a very, very simple tip, but get up, make your bed. You have accomplished one thing, and then that habit can go into other
things. Absolutely. Absolutely. You were going to say something else? Go ahead.
I don't remember. Okay. So another thing is I have anxiety and I have ADHD. Mm-hmm. So my brain goes in 20 different ways.
Right.
So, I'm doing my best here.
Yeah. No, that's right. No, but I think it's so important, especially for people that we do have ADHD. For me, having my house not necessarily completely clean, but organized.
Yes.
Makes things so much better. I don't lose my keys. I put the keys in the same spot.
Yes.
I have a way that I park. I have a way that I do this.
Excellent.
I have a way, because I found out it's like, if I don't have to think about it, so I just make it a habit of making my bed the first minute I get out of it, then I don't have to think about it. I come home and I feel so much better. Yeah.
Yeah. I really think that it's so important to put your purse or your keys or your charger or your phone or all the things that you need, your shoes, in the same space. Mm-hmm. Because people in general, they lose their keys, they lose items, and then they also miss appointments.
Yeah,
they're just a mess. Mm-hmm. So life is messy. Really does go along with your brain.
And life can be so, especially if we have kids. I mean, I know my kids are older now and they drive, and your kids are adults. But oh my gosh, the years when they're like 7, 8, 9 years old, they're driving people everywhere,
constantly
trying to food and schedules and practice and
sports equipment.
Yes, and all the things.
Is my jersey what? Yeah, is it clean?
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot going on.
Oh wait, I have a job too. Wait, what? Laundry? What?
Yeah, and you gotta feed these people.
Yeah.
And you don't just feed them once a day.
You feed them 3 times a day.
I know. Yeah, I remember when my youngest went off to college, I guess. I remember thinking, this is the best thing ever, because you don't ever have to think about school lunches anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just hated that.
Yes. It was something else that you had to do with. And the thing is, like, whenever you lose your keys, for example, it might not seem like a big deal consciously, but unconsciously, you're panicking, you're wasting time. Now you're late to your appointment, or you're late to your brunch with your friends, whatever it is.
Exactly.
But it does drag. If you don't do the laundry, or if you're not organized, those things clutter. Can you tell us a little bit about what clutter does to our mental health?
It's just
because I know I'm not crazy.
No, it really, really makes a difference. Mm-hmm. And people say the inside of your home or the inside of your car is reflecting the inside of your brain. Oh. It's true. So when you're on TikTok and you see these people and they give examples, it's so true. Mm-hmm. There's just stuff everywhere. Can you imagine what's going on inside? Yes. And I just want the world to know that, yes, I have 18 strategies. Try one.
Right.
Try one and see if it helps. You know, is your pantry a disaster? Do you just throw stuff in when you go out from the store?
Right. Because you're in a rush to make dinner.
And I mean, I do get that. But take a timer, and I'm big on using timers, set it for 15 minutes and see what you can get done. Put like with like. You're going to know what you have. You're going to save money in the long run because you know you're going to the store and you're buying things that you already have. And so it's a problem with space, and it's a problem that you just spent an extra $10 on something that you didn't need. So, yeah, it really, really matters.
Yes. For me, and I was married for a long time. I got divorced recently, and my ex was not the best at organizing. And so he had his space with his office, and I couldn't walk in there because I would get a panic attack.
Exactly.
I would be like so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're OCD or we're compulsive, you know, things like that, or obsessed. It has nothing to do with that.
Right. It's just a feeling. And it's a good feeling to have when you walk in and it's just, like I said, structure. And like, again, it does not have to be perfect.
Right.
But functional is functional is what we're striving for.
I love that. It has to be functional. And it doesn't have to be every single space in your house. Am I correct? No. Like what do you use the most?
I mean,
what spaces do you use the most? Like, I think I would think the most important, right?
Yeah, it's kitchen, your master bath, your closet, being able to find clothing. It's time to maybe go through and do you love it? Do you use it? Do you wear it? And these are things that matter because every single day you have to figure out what to put on. And for you and your kiddos.
Right.
And the kiddos, I know they're growing all the time and it is a struggle to keep up with that. But, you know, set a timer again or set a time maybe once a month, once every other month and go through their things.
Yes.
And, you know, if you need to save them for the next kid, you know, get a container and label it and, you know, stick it in a closet. And then when that younger child is now grown, they can use that.
Or donate or whatever you need to do.
Whatever. And so when I help organize clients, I actually take the donated items for them because once again, we don't want it to sit by the back door or sit in your car
and you
forever,
for years
and drive around for a month and it's still sitting there.
Right.
Yeah, we know that happens.
Yes. So tell us, obviously, without, I just think it will be fun, without releasing any personal information, what has been a job that has been challenging for you? Like something that you walked in and you're like, oh, can I do this? Because I know there are a lot of jobs that are overwhelming, and that's most likely why the client has called me. So I am very practical, and there are a lot of, as I was saying, if it's overwhelming to them, and then I see it and it's overwhelming to me, it's just like, it can be done. I know I've done this so many different times, and I start with ABC. You got to start with something. I had a client just last week. She opened the door and she said, I'm so nervous. We had the best day. Yeah.
And she's like, I don't even know where we're going to start. And I said, it's okay.
Yeah. Breathe.
And breathe. Yes. Exactly. And we started in this, I guess it's like a spare bedroom. And we just started going through. We usually do top to bottom, left to right. And we just go through and say, what is this? What is this? And we were relocating items. We were donating items. And I do have specific stories, though. Many, many years ago, I was a volunteer on a Hoarders episode.
Really?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
This is now your first show.
Yeah. Well, I was a volunteer.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the professional organizer on the show.
Yeah.
But number one, it was in Texas and it was in the summer. And the home was filled with bugs. So I had to wear jeans, work boots, tape around the ankles, work shirt, gloves. I had like a do-rag thing on and a bandana around my face.
Yes.
So, for being on TV, that was not really my
Right.
my favorite outfit. But yeah, it was really, really bad. And it took days. I mean, and of course they definitely dramatized it.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is the homeowner needed help, and my job was physically using a shovel and digging out and putting what was in the shovel in the trash can. And this was inside the home. So this particular client would drink a Diet Coke, squeeze it, and throw it. So there were like a foot worth of trash on the floor. And then same thing with the bedroom. She would finish a book. She's an avid reader. Finish a paperback book and then just toss it. There was like a mountain of books. They found like a decayed snake. It was bad. But if you want, I can send you the link. But that's so because it was very difficult.
And it's a very difficult thing for people. I mean, obviously living like that, there's reasons for that, right? But there's nothing to be embarrassed because we all have our things. Sometimes we're like that inside. Absolutely. And I know I see it in my therapy room.
It is so true. And the other thing is I have had clients that I consider hoarding clients. And on the scale, I put them at out of 1 to 5, I'd put them at a 4. And you really do need to work with an organizer and a therapist. So just to let everyone know, it can be helped.
Yes.
But it's a lot of work on everyone's on plate. Yeah. It's not just something you can wake up one day and say, I'm going to fix this.
Right. No, because it's taking time to accumulate.
It took years to get like them.
Right.
And so, having a company come in for 3 days helps. But if you don't change those habits,
it's
going to go right back.
Yeah. So it must be, and you can feel and hear, but I can imagine you see transformations like within only like less than 24 hours.
I love the before and after.
Yes.
Well, it's just the clients. You can just feel the stress leave their bodies, and you can just feel the lightness that, when I leave, they're typically just so happy. And I had a client recently, I'd say it was about 3 weeks ago. She just said, I'm just going to keep walking back in my closet. She did such a great job.
Yeah.
Of getting rid of. And in space, a room this size can feel very, very small when there's clutter everywhere.
Right.
But it can actually open up once you get rid of that clutter.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are gaining space, and they always say, I have too small of a house. No, you don't.
You have too much stuff.
Too much stuff.
You might not use, and that's a whole other thing. And for me, I've always been very minimalistic. If I don't use something for 6 months, it's like it's out. And so that's something that's always been, I
mean, that's great for you, but there are just many, many people that don't do that.
And I'm not saying, and it's taking time, but there's just my personality is like that. That's always been like that.
A little bit like me.
Yeah.
And we do move a lot, and so that does help.
So I know there's a story about organizing, but I know there's a story about the moving, and that kind of, I remember from your speaking engagement that was
the Germany.
Yeah. How it got you to do this and kind of look it up and
Well, I have become a lot of organizers find their niche, and because we've moved so much, helping clients with their moves have become my niche. I do packing, I do unpacking, I help with the move management, and really, it's just again decreasing that time between point A and point B.
Yes.
Because you're living in a home and then you're going to a new home. So do you want to live, with boxes everywhere for the next 6 to 12 months? Or do you want to come in, unpack, organize, and then maybe...
And make it your home.
And maybe in the next couple of days, be in your kitchen and cook a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, I just can't imagine.
Yes.
But it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And so with us moving, I feel like I have the personal experience of doing it. And then, I just love helping the people go through that because it's extremely stressful, whether it's across the street or across the country or across the world.
Yes.
And one of the stories that I think you're talking about was my husband's dream job was to go to Germany. Mm-hmm. And I was a young mom with 2 little girls, and he got the job. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like deer in the headlights. We're going where? I don't speak German. I did learn. We ended up being there 3.5 years. And then when I moved back, I had 2 daughters and a son because I did have my son over there, which I don't recommend. They weren't big on medicine, and he was 10 pounds. So it was not it was not a fun day.
Yes.
But it really opened my eyes to a whole new world.
Okay.
I met so many friends. We traveled a good bit, and it was terrifying. Yes. I won't ever say that it wasn't terrifying.
Right.
But of course, looking back on it, I'm much more mature, and I lived life, and what a cool experience.
Yes.
And then we also lived 1 year in Mexico City.
Yeah.
So
that's how you and I started talking. Yes.
So in Mexico City, my problem with language is I finally got to the place where I was decent in German. And then, my high school Spanish wasn't so great. And then I get to Mexico, and every time I think foreign language, the wrong language came out.
You're speaking
I'm telling the Uber driver to go links, which was left. So I had to learn izquierda real quick.
Yes.
I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So my brain, it was just really hard. So we got back to the States, and now I just speak English.
Yes.
So much easier.
A little bit of Spanish in the Mexican restaurant, maybe.
Maybe a little bit.
Yes.
But on the whole, moving around has been a little bit nerve-wracking, but I always say I would never have met the people that I've met without doing that.
Right.
And having the experiences. And living in Houston is really, really cool because, now that I'm a speaker, there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of conferences and a lot of people to organize.
I don't know.
I'm enjoying it.
Of all kinds of backgrounds and sizes, and I'm pretty sure. Yes.
And there's just the fun things. Yeah, I've got the rodeo. And,
I love the city. Yes. Are you originally from here?
I'm originally from West Virginia.
From West Virginia.
A tiny little town.
Yes.
A very small town. It's about an hour south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
For those wondering.
Oh, that's far. It's far, isn't it? Yeah. It's pretty north.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's far.
My geography, I grew up in Mexico, so my geography, then I say sometimes have to double think. Yeah.
It's way up and way up.
I see. Yeah. Now I can now that you said Pittsburgh, I can picture it. So how many times have you moved throughout your life?
Well, I was born and raised and moved none until I went to college.
Okay.
And then once my husband and I got married, I believe we've moved 8 times.
Wow. That is a lot of times.
So
we're little kids at that time.
We did. We always tried to make sure that they would be in high school at one place. So that did work, but they don't know where they're from. Yeah, my kids, like, from everywhere. They'll say, like, if they're up in the Pennsylvania, West Virginia area, they'll say, oh, I'm from Texas. But when they're down here, they'll say, oh, I'm from America. They don't know.
Yeah. Same for me. I'm American. I'm from Mexico. I don't know what I do. I'm just here. Yes.
I'm from somewhere.
Yes. So give us the last tip for again, moms are on a budget, maybe, but they have little kids and they want to get organized and they don't know where to start. Like kind of, and I'm not putting you on the spot.
No. I completely, I say this all the time because not everyone's going to be able to hire me or just hire me in general.
Right.
I always say, what is your biggest pain point? If I was a magic fairy and I had a little, what's that thing called?
Wand.
A wand.
Magic wand.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. Magic wand. What would make your life better? So let's just say, oh my gosh, it's definitely my pantry or it's definitely my garage. It'd be nice to park in the garage. I hate going garages, but it's important.
It's so important, yes.
And so I would say which area in your home or which area in your life is bothering you the most. And then that's where you're going to start.
Yeah.
Because people hire me and they'll show me 4 or 5 or 6 different areas. And I'm like, okay, now which one? So we work together and decide where do you think, because I want them to see progress.
Yes.
You know, if I come into 3 hours,
yes.
I don't want to leave and then be like, that was not a good thing.
Right.
That was not a good session. When I leave, I want them to see some serious help.
Yes.
You know, and I want them to feel good.
Yes.
Again, the mental health. I want them to feel better.
Yes. Yes. Very important. So, I mean, for me, it's like, where do I spend the most, like, where do I waste most of my time? Like maybe picking up my clothes. Okay, then let's start with your clothes.
Exactly.
Let's start with, you know.
Exactly. And if you're a professional, I mean, you have to look nice Monday through Friday.
Right.
I have, I don't wear this when I'm organizing.
Yeah.
No heels for organizing. But I mean, there are times when I am up and down steps like all day long.
Right.
So I'm in my tennies.
Right.
But if you need to look nice every single day, you really need to have a closet that shows that.
Yes. And I read this thing about decision making. What is it called? Do you know? Decision making.
Well,
Fatigue. Yes.
Yes. Well, not making a decision is procrastinating that decision.
Yes.
So it's an actual decision to not decide.
Yes.
So yes,
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
I heard that
real thing.
I heard that from my coach about, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, maybe. And so since then, I organize my closet. I always kind of organize my closet just because I'm like that. But I put my like shirts, and today, because I feel I wear something a little bit nicer, but I have like simple t-shirts that I wear and all my my blazers and then my pants, and I have them all because I just pick one here, pick that one, pick one, and then I'll have to think about it.
That's perfect.
And I don't waste time in the morning when, you know.
Well, I recommend doing as much as possible the evening before. To be honest.
Yeah.
And actually this morning I had changed my outfit and I thought to myself, I did not listen to myself because I laid out something and I decided I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But every little thing that you can do the night before, including lunches, including laying out the correct shoes, laying out anything is going to help you tomorrow morning.
Yes.
It's like the thing where you're getting low on gas and you just think, I'll do it in the beginning. Never, ever a good idea. Dang it. Never, ever a good idea. And, you know, the times that you do that, you think, that was not a good decision.
Yeah. So just kind of find what helps you the most. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's what I would recommend.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. So tell us where people can find you. Tell us a little bit about your book first before we go into closing with a website and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that I know you say you have 18 strategies.
So, yeah. So the book is called Life is Messy.
I'm going to show it so that people see the colors and they can find it on it. So we'll put the link. Yes.
And yellow. So there are like 3 sections of the book. Because it's called Life is Messy, I have 2 different things. My goodness, my brain just went away. So I interview 7 different ladies that have stuff, because we all have stuff. And their names are changed in here, and they are called the Faces of Anxiety. So they tell their stories. that's the first very cool thing about the book, because that's going to show the mental health part. And then with it being called Life is Messy, I go through the home: a mess in the kitchen, a mess in the laundry room, a mess in the master bedroom, a mess in the closet. So then I talk about those messes. And then I talk about the strategies. And so those 18 strategies I plug in where that can help you in those certain rooms.
Okay.
So that's how the book works.
Yeah.
And it's an extremely easy read. This is not a novel. Again, I have ADHD, and I wrote it for people that are going to be like, little tips here and there. I mean, most people can read this extremely quickly.
Yeah.
I have a friend who said, actually, it's Natalie.
Uh-huh.
Our Natalie.
Yes.
She said, I am not a reader. I loved it, and I read it in like 2 days.
Yes. Yes.
So.
And they can read one of the stories, one of the strategies, and then apply it, and then come back to it and do another one. And
Of course.
give yourself compassion, give yourself patience, grace, and trying to change anything in your life, because change is not easy. Change can bring you anxiety, which it sounds counterproductive, but it's just the fact of the change. Once you change it, your anxiety will go down when it comes to your mental health or any type of reaction that you have to change. It's just the anticipation for the change, but once it's done, people relax.
Yeah, and again, baby steps. Try one little thing. Try putting your pantry, put life with like, put all your paper products together, put all your baking things together, put all your canned items together. It sounds like a very simple thing to do, but it's going to help you.
Yeah, it helps a lot. And I got baskets from the dollar store for my pantry, and I put the baskets and I put little plastic lettuce in there, and boom.
I absolutely love the Container Store. I love all the fancy things. But you know what? You do not need to do that.
Dollar Tree
is awesome.
Because I moved not too long ago, and so at Dollar Tree, I put all my containers down there, and then I label.
I'm telling you.
They're good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So where can people find you?
I have 2 different websites. I have tinahazen.com, and I also have fakeinsidethebox.com. Fake Inside the Box has 2 X's, and that's because of, in the beginning, there was another Fake Inside the Box that was a shipping company.
Okay.
So I added an X for that.
Uh-huh.
And then on Instagram, I do a lot of before and after photos, and that's Fake Inside Box. So it's just Fake Inside BOXX.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it. My website, and then the book is on Amazon. I love to speak to women's groups if you're interested.
Yes. Anybody that wants to have a speaker, an excellent speaker, because I've seen her on the stage, talk about how organizing helps your mental health. And she has great resources, her book. We're going to link her website and her and the website and the book to the comments of this episode, so that you can reach out to Tina if you need help, if you need tips. I'm pretty sure your website has information that people can use on your Instagram and things like that, so that they can reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever have any questions, I'm available. I'm also on TikTok if you want to follow me.
Yes.
That's also, I believe, Fake Inside Box. But yeah, I like to show before and afters. I try to video some things and show how I do things.
Awesome.
And helping people
behind the
what I want to
scenes.
do.
Yes. And it's something that is so needed. And sometimes we procrastinate, like, we don't have to do it now. We don't have to do it now. But the more that you procrastinate, the more that it's built up. That's how I experience
It's so true. It's so true. And we want to stop it before it gets really, really bad.
Really bad. Yes. So thank you guys so much for being here with us. It was a pleasure. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please leave them here. We'll reach out to you. If you're going to have Tina's information to reach out to her, speaker and presenter and organizer and all the things. And yes, get you into a better space, literally and mentally too. So thank you so much for being here. We'll see you in the next episode.